Welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss about buttons, different types of buttons that are available in Flutter. So this is our first class on buttons. Let's have some intuition about buttons. See, this is the output which we have written here, and in this is our first button. This button, in order to create this button, we are going to use ElevatedButton class. ElevatedButton. This is the class we are going to use in order to create this button. So why we got that name ElevatedButton? When you look at this button, it is somehow elevated above the layout. On the layout, it is somehow elevated to provide you three-dimensional effect. That is how it is going to be created when you use ElevatedButton class. And it is having, in order to get the 3D effect, some shadow has been created around this button to provide that 3D effect. So that's how we are going to use this ElevatedButton class. And the important point you need to understand here, in the button, let's check the documentation. See, this is our ElevatedButton class. In this, we are having a property called onPressed. There are so many properties. We are going to discuss remaining properties in our coming classes. In this class, we are going to discuss very few of them onPressed. So what's the meaning of this? Whenever onPressed means whenever you click on this button, some functionality has to be done. Let's take an example. Suppose when you click, assume that this is a submit button. When you click on this button, whatever the data you filled in your page, that data has to be sent to the database. This is the functionality that has to be executed when you click on this button. So in order to write that functionality, whenever you click on this button, see, onPressed, it is going to take a function as input. This property is going to take a function as input. Let's check the documentation. onPressed. Void, it's a callback function. It is going to take a callback function. Go inside this void callback. It is going to take a function as input. We call it as callback function. It is going to take input as function. Here we have created an anonymous function. Without any name of the function, we can create functions. Yes, by using these brackets. In Dart programming, it's possible. So we created an anonymous function here. Otherwise, you can create a function in somewhere in some other file, and you can call that function. You can pass that function to this onPressed property. Anyhow, you can do. We are going to do multiple examples in our coming classes. It's okay. Here we have used anonymous function, and what this function is going to do? Whenever you click on this button, see here, ElevatedButton clicked. On the console, it is going to print ElevatedButton clicked. See here, how many times you want to click? It is going to call that function. It is going to execute that functionality. That is what the main use of a function. Now coming to, in order to provide the styling about this button, check the documentation. One important point you need to understand here, there is little bit confusion here. In order to explain that, we have chosen this example. Style. See, whenever you go to style property to give styling to our button, see what's the class it is going to take? Button style. But here, let's check the code. Style, what's the, did we use the same thing, button style? No. We used ElevatedButton dot style form function. What is this ElevatedButton dot style form function? You know static methods. Style form is a static method in ElevatedButton class. See here, when you go down, static method, style form. We are calling this function. This function is going to return an object that is of type. Which type it is going to return? It is going to return button style. That is how it is going to execute. In order to go details about, this is the basic details of object-oriented programming. Style form function is a static function. We are calling static function using class name. that function is going to return an object. Whatever the values you pass to that function, according to that it is going to return an object of type button style, so that those styles are going to be assigned to the button. See, now coming to the style form, you need to check the functionality of style form. In that style form, let's check the documentation. In the style form, not this. See, these are the list of properties. We are going to use many of the properties in the coming classes. As of now, we are going to use in this property foreground color, background color, and we assigned some padding here. See, here the property of padding. Okay, you check here, their padding property will be there. See, background color, colors.blue, that's why this you got blue color. All these things, how to use colors, all these things we already discussed. Foreground color, colors.white, the text is going to take a white color. Similarly, padding, in all sides you are going to assign horizontal 40, vertical 15, like that we assign padding. And see, whatever the data you want to display on this, in the button, it is going to go in a child constant text of save data. The text is going to be displayed on the button. This is how we are going to create elevated button and write the functionality to that button. Similarly, the next button which we are going to discuss here is text button. See, the text, learn more. This is the text. When you click on here, it acts as a button. Text button clicked. In the console, you check the console. This is a text button clicked. So these are the two types of buttons which we need to understand. Same here, onPressed. Whenever it is going to take a function as input, and you can assign style text button dot style form. This is a static function in the text button class. And this child is going to take constant text, learn more. Whatever you text, whatever the text, it is going to be displayed here. Similarly, one more important point you need to understand, whenever we have created the third button here, first button, second button, third button, but the third button, it's disabled, it looks disabled, means how you can assign that disabled property. Whenever you say onPressed is equal to null, then that button is going to be disabled. See, these are the basic important points you need to understand on buttons, and few more properties which we are going to discuss in our next class. Hope you got good clarity about how to use buttons in Android app. If you have any questions regarding the concept, please post your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.